Good day, everyone. I would like you to like and subscribe to my YouTube channel. So now I want to teach you the basic differentiation. And what is differentiation, you may ask? Differentiation is what is used to find the gradient of a curve. Now, when you want to find the gradient of a straight line, the gradient of a straight line, which is known as m, is equals to change in y, the y, over change in x, the x, which is we do y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. Now, this is for straight line. But when there's a curve, how do we find the gradient? And the gradient changes, the curve changes slope and so how do we find it? That is where the place of the differentiation come in. The first pattern is differentiation using first principle. The first principle of differentiation, the formula for it is differentiation. My last video, I saw question differentiation, okay, from first principle. My last video, I saw question using first principle. This video, I'm going to just state the formula, which is dy by the x is equals to f in bracket x plus dx square minus f of x all over the x. That is the formula for finding the differentiation, the gradient of a curve using first principle. But the general formula of it, when you have f of x, which is also known as y, is equals to ax raised to power n. This is the equation. So when you now want to find the differentiation can be either you can say find dy of the x, or find x prime, or find the gradient of the curve. The gradient of the curve. So whenever you hear the gradient of the curve, whenever you hear any of these, they're asking you to differentiate the algebraic, the trigonometric, or the exponential equation given to you. So I'm going to be explaining it. So when you ask it to differentiate this f of x equals to axn, it's like telling you y is equal to axn. So the general formula now says that the y over the x will be equals to an x raised to power n minus 1. Meaning, when you are given y is equals to 2x raised to power 3, your dy over the x will now be, the 3 will multiply to 3 times 2x, you now minus 1 from that x, which will give you 6x squared. That is basic definition of differentiation. Now, there's many ways question can be given to you here under the algebraic differentiation, because in differentiation, there are different parts of differentiation that we'll be discussing. I'm going to be doing videos on different of them. The algebraic differentiation, algebraic differentiation. We have the exponential, exponential. When we talk about ln x, talk about e raised to power x, when we're talking about the inverse and exponential function. And all those, we talk about logarithmic function. When we talk about this, we talk about logarithmic function. When we talk about this, we talk about the exponential function. But we are going to be looking at using general formula. In using general formula, one of the things that we are going to be looking at is we have, let us say, we always use it to find the gradient of a curve. So when you have an equation and you are given a point, I say find the gradient of that particular point, you can easily find it. For example, we can be asked, find the gradient gradient of the curve y is equals to 2x squared plus 5x. Okay? At point x is equals to 3. At point where x is equals to 3. So how do you solve this? The first thing that you do, you find the gradient, which is differentiation of the y. So the y, differentiation of the equation, the y over the x, will now be following the format. What do? You differentiate this thing, you add the 2, we multiply by 2, which will give you 2 times 2x raised over 2 minus 1 plus 5 raised to the power 1 minus 1 because there's negative 1 on x, which will give you 4x plus 5. So the y over the x of that with 4x plus 1. So at point where x is equals to what? 3. So the gradient will be equals to 4 times 3 plus 5, which will give you 12 plus 5, which will give you 17. Very easy to estimate. General formula for the equation. Now I'm going to be giving you how different formulas, and I'm going to be solving questions in my subsequent video. What do I mean? When f of x is in form of ax plus b and raised to power n. This particular one is known as, to solve this, we are going to use what is known as chain rule. And what is the chain rule? Chain rule states that dy over the x is equals to dy over du multiplied by du over the x. Now, when you have f of x, another equation in form of ax plus b raised to power n multiplied by another ax plus d raised to power m. And you now want to differentiate this. You use what is known as product rule. And that product rule states dy over the x is equals to u dv over the x plus v du over the x. And the last part, when you have a function in form of u over v, what do I mean the u over v? In the one of products, the function, if you look at it, f of x is in form of uv. But when it comes to, when you have what here, you will use what is known as quotient rule. And what does the quotient rule state? It states dy over the x is equals to v du over the x minus u dv over the x all over x v squared. So in my next video, I'm going to be using this method to solve series of questions on product rule, chain rule, quotient rule to solve the basic algebraic expression. Then from there, we can go to other forms of differentiation. Stay tuned. Make sure you watch the next video to understand how to use all these formulas and how the example will look like. Thank you.